And I said, your hand's always broken. You ain't known for your punching power since you moved up from lightweight to welterweight. Why are you so sure you're going to do this?
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left light.
Best fighter, in his era. And I feel like I'm the best fighter in mine.
Stephen A. Smith responded to Floyd Mayweather calling out Terence Crawford by arguing that today's boxing world often limits certain fighters while exaggerating others. He emphasized that Crawford deserves greater recognition for his skills and accomplishments, pointing out that Mayweather is no longer in his prime. According to Smith, the focus should be on Crawford's dominance rather than on unnecessary comparisons or hype that distract from his true greatness.
What he had to say about you when he said you're way better than Floyd Money Mayweather. I know you heard that he said that. What thoughts came to your mind when you heard that Canelo Alvarez said that about you?
Oh, that's a accomplishment. Compliment. He's been in the ring with both of us, so he would know, from his own experience. A lot of people, they can say this, say that, but there's only, a few people that can say they've been in the ring with Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather.
When asked about Canelo Alvarez saying he's better than Floyd Mayweather, Terence Crawford responded by calling it a huge compliment. He explained that Canelo has shared the ring with both him and Mayweather, so his opinion carries weight based on first-hand experience. Crawford noted that while many people can talk and compare, only a few have actually been in the ring with both fighters and can truly give an informed perspective.
Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually taking more of a weight class, and I would say Crawford the better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? He would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Shane Mosley compared Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather by emphasizing that Crawford is naturally the bigger fighter, with size and strength that give him an edge Mayweather never had at welterweight. At the same time, Mosley acknowledged Mayweather's superiority in technical sharpness, precision, and defensive mastery. He explained that Floyd's ring IQ allowed him to overcome larger opponents, while Crawford doesn't face that same challenge as often. Ultimately, Mosley's perspective highlights that Crawford's physical dominance is a major factor, but Mayweather's legacy rests on pure skill and unmatched adaptability.
This prevailing thought that the smaller man always loses to the bigger man. This was repeated time and again throughout the fight week. And he proved that that's not the case. Again, I hope you all recognize this was a 168-pounder fighting a 147-pounder. He had one fight at 154 last August, was the undisputed king at 147, beating Errol Spence in July of 2023, came back the following year, fought Israel Madrimov at the soccer stadium in Los Angeles, and then did everything he could to get this fight, played his cards the right way, and there he was, standing face to face against Canelo Alvarez, who did seem for the longest time like he didn't want to take this fight, and because there was great risk involved, because not only is Terence Crawford one of the all-time best fighters in the history of the sport, he's smaller than him, so a lot of people would be like, oh, of course you're going to beat the smaller guy, right? But I think Canelo recognized, yeah, he might be smaller, but he's that damn good.
In an interview with Ariel Helwani, Terence Crawford reminded fans that Canelo Alvarez is in a rare position to compare him with Floyd Mayweather, having shared the ring with both. Crawford emphasized that the circumstances were very different. Mayweather fought a young, inexperienced Canelo, while Crawford faced him as a seasoned champion at 168 pounds. Despite the size disadvantage, Crawford prevailed, proving his strength and skill against a much larger opponent. For Crawford, Canelo's acknowledgement that he felt more power from him reinforces the idea that greatness belongs to different eras, each defined in its own way.
That Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring,
Yeah.
who's the better fighter, Jay?
I guess you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time. Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence, skill set, his IQ. You know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. Floyd, I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look so great to me. I could be wrong, but he didn't look so great to me because he was learning a lot about Madrimov while he was in there.
Hackett emphasized that Floyd Mayweather was a complete fighter when he faced Canelo Alvarez. He explained that Floyd's style at that stage was polished, disciplined, and unshakable, qualities Crawford's wilder, more aggressive approach doesn't fully replicate. According to Hackett, Crawford thrives on explosive counters and adaptability, whereas Mayweather's greatness came from flawless execution from start to finish. While he acknowledged Crawford's accomplishments, Hackett maintained that Mayweather's level of perfection against Canelo remains unmatched.
Resume is much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Terence Crawford confidently stated that if he ever faced a prime Floyd Mayweather, he believes he would come out on top. He clarified that this view isn't rooted in disrespect, but in faith in his own abilities. While Crawford admires Mayweather's legendary skill set, he sees his own versatility, power, and ability to switch stances as the key factors that would separate them. For Crawford, the statement isn't about diminishing Floyd's achievements, but about embracing competitive spirit that defines true boxing greatness.
And fight you or prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Oh, why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, reminded fans that when Floyd faced Canelo, he was already past his prime, older, slower, and no longer the same fighter who dominated the lighter divisions. Yet, despite that decline, Floyd still schooled Canelo with superior timing and experience. Jeff argued that this key detail is often overlooked when people compare Crawford's win over Canelo to Floyd's. In his view, context matters. Floyd was fading, while Crawford is still near his peak, making direct comparisons far more complicated.
Canelo, that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience. He still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? 20-something? 21? 23? 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
Well, Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people.
But you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you were 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, for sure, and that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
Stephen A. Smith shared his perspective on Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo, calling it one of the most entertaining performances in recent memory. He praised Crawford for completely outclassing a much larger opponent, despite being viewed as the smaller and weaker man going in. For Stephen A., the fight highlighted not only Crawford's elite talent, but also his ability to put on a true spectacle for fans. He emphasized that boxing needs fighters like Crawford, athletes who bring both skill and excitement, making every bout unforgettable.
482 people showed up for this fight. But the biggest props of the night goes to Terence Crawford, who did not disappoint. He was supposed to be the smaller man. He was supposed to be the weaker man. He was supposed to be the man that was going to spend the entire night on his bicycle, running for his damn life because Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming his way. That is not what happened. What happened instead, ladies and gentlemen, was a masterclass in boxing by Terence Crawford. Now, to me, the fight, some people were saying it was just severely lopsided and stuff like that. I'm not going for that. I'm not feeling that at all. It wasn't like that at all, okay? I had the fight 5-4 in favor of Terence Crawford after 9 rounds. It could have gone either way. And then he basically put on a boxing clinic over the last 3 rounds of the fight. And one rounds 10, 11, and 12. He used his jab. He kept his distance. He exchanged when necessary, which is something that I was scared to death of him doing. But he wasn't scared of it at all.
Another boxing analyst noted that Floyd Mayweather commands the bigger global fan base thanks to his undefeated record and massive pay-per-view success. However, when it comes to pure talent, he argued that Terence Crawford may actually surpass him. As a natural southpaw who can switch seamlessly between stances, Crawford brings an unpredictable style that's difficult to solve. His timing, accuracy, and composure in the ring allow him to control fights in ways that remind fans of Mayweather, yet still carry Crawford's own unique twist.
Floyd Mayweather who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you.
Many in the boxing world remain skeptical of the constant comparisons between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. They argue that Mayweather's dominance was truly one of a kind and cannot be replicated, no matter how successful Crawford becomes. For them, Floyd's defensive brilliance, unmatched ring IQ, and ability to control fights with surgical precision set him apart in a way no fighter has duplicated. Critics of Crawford also claim his rise is being fueled more by hype than reality, with fans eager to crown him as Mayweather's successor. They point out that the two have very different styles and career paths. Floyd built his legacy on defensive mastery and business acumen, while Crawford thrives on stance switching, aggression, and risk-taking. To these observers, the comparisons overlook those differences and are driven more by fan excitement than genuine similarity, making the debate largely exaggerated. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this video with fellow boxing fans support the channel's growth, and stay tuned for more powerful insights coming your way.